What's up, YouTube? Generation New Year coming at you with a top 5 underrated rare card of Duelist Alliance. If you didn't see yesterday, I posted a top 5 underrated common cards of Duelist Alliance, so I encourage you to please go check that out. And before I start, I'd like to give a shout out to my good friend, the High Fly Sparkman. He gave me a shout out on his channel, so I only seem fitting to give him one. He has some great videos, great channel, and a great friend, so please go check him out. And now for the video, these are, I believe, are the top 5 underrated rare cards of Duelist Alliance. These are not the Shadows or Stellar Knight or anything that you're really familiar with. This is more of cards that I feel are definitely underrated and they could definitely be used in a variety of ways. So we start off with Dogu. Now, Dogu is a level 4 Earth Rock type monster that allows you to, when it is sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect, you know, like Dark Hole or Torrential, you're able to add a monster from your deck to your hand with a level that is different than one that you control and in your graveyard. So obviously, if this guy goes to the graveyard, you can't grab a level 4. So the pro, I thought, was for like a deck like Frog Monarchs, because you already use so many different levels like Treeborn Frog and Swap Frog and all the Monarchs. I figured that if this card dies by a card effect, you're able to go and search for whatever you need, as long as it's not one that you control or in the graveyard. That's the only con that I would see, is that if you had a monster you control, like say you had a Monarch that was level 5, and it was on the field or in the graveyard, and this card died, you couldn't go and grab another Monarch, but, you know, it's not too bad. That's what I feel is number 5. For number 4 is Perform Power Whip Snake, a level 4 Earth Reptile that allows you to switch a face of monster's attack and defense during either player's main phase until the end of the turn. So if you know that your opponent is playing cards that have heavy attack but low defense, you can definitely bring this guy out easily, and then you could switch the attack and defense, and you could easily run it over. But obviously, it wouldn't work if you know, the monster had equal attack and defense, and it was already, you know, stronger than Whip Snake. But definitely a good surprise factor for those decks that have low defense. And for number 3, we have Flash Knight, one of my favorites. Definitely, it's a level 4 light warrior pendulum monster, one of the first normal pendulum monsters. It has a scale of 7, and what I love about this card is that you're able to search it with Reinforcing the Army. Now that it's at 2, it's from the ban list. You can search it out. And you could also summon it with Rescue Rabbit. So you can summon 2. Definitely nice. The only con I would say is that because it's normal, you know, it doesn't have an effect. It's just a vanilla. But still an awesome card. It's what I feel is number 3. For number 2, we got one of the new archetypes of Duelist Alliance, UA Mighty Slugger. It's a level 5 Earth Warrior type monster. Now, it states that you can special summon this card from your hand by returning one UA monster you control to the hand, except Mighty Slugger. You can only special summon one UA Mighty Slugger once per turn, this way. If this card attacks your opponent, cannot activate card effect until the end of the damage step. So really awesome. If you have the other one, which is Perfect Ace, you could bounce it and summon this guy, and can only be special summoned once that way. And then when it attacks, it has 2,300 attack. So for level 5, that's actually really good. And when it attacks, it has an Armades like effect where your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. So no Gores, no Trag, you know, no spells and traps. Really awesome. Throws your opponent off. But I guess the con would be if you did not have a UA. Since there's, you know, only the 2 monsters and the spells, you would have to find other ways to get Mighty Slugger out. But when it does, you know, look out. That's only number 2. For my number 1 most underrated rare card in Duelist Alliance is Super Heavy Samurai Big Benkei. It is a level 8 Earth Machine type monster that says, when this card is normal or special summon, you can change its battle position. Super Heavy Samurai monsters you control can attack while in defense position, face-up defense position. If they do, apply the defense for damage calculation. So this card is really awesome. I mean, it's underrated, but people, I think, at least know sort of what it does. But the pro is definitely that, you know, it has 1,000 attack and 3,500 defense, which is amazing. And when you have this guy out, when you have Blue Brawler and you have Swordsman, they're able to attack in defense as well. This archetype reminds me of a old card called Total Defense Shogun, sorry. Total Defense Shogun was able to attack while defense position, except that Total Defense Shogun only allowed you to use his attack. But this guy allows you to use his defense. So when the defense position he attacks, it's like he has 3,500 attack. And then you use cards like D2 Shield or Unity or Spike Shield Chain or anything that increases his defense, because basically you're increasing his attack. And another pro too is that when defense position, you know, you can get past things like Mirror Force. You know, Mirror Force being at 3 is, you know, could be a problem. But for Super Heavy Samurais, it's not. But the con is, you know, it could still fall victim to things like D-Prison, or if people decide that they want to side like Dark Mirror Force, that could definitely put a damper on the deck. But I don't really see anybody running Dark Mirror Force just for one deck. I mean, D-Prison, definitely. But yep, well, let's go over the recap real fast. For number 5, we have Dogu. Number 4, Performer Pal Whip Snake. Number 3, Flash Knight. Number 2, UA Mighty Slugger. And number 1, Super Heavy Samurai Big Benkei. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. And for next video, I have a surprise deck profile. It's going to be my first from the Duelist Alliance. So please make sure to stay tuned for that. And Team Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Generation Yu-Gi-Oh! Signing out.